was invented by the co-inventor of the first pacemaker in London University. And then I joined in 1983. I was still a student, and we started working together, and then after that, I sort of continued in doing that. And let me go Okay. Just a second. Okay. Okay, so there is an important, what is the importance of effortless exercise? Is that it does not take any effort, it does not, don't expend any energy, and you get more energy. All this is based on hard science. We have worked for many, many years, over 50 years of research. In London University, we have people from Cambridge that have joined us now, and everything, all of our money goes back into research. We don't buy big cars and big apartments or big, everything goes back into research. And that's all that interests us, and it's from the beginning. Jerry Pollock was and Donald Gilbert, who was basically the first person that worked on stem cells and exosomes in the 80s, mind you, long, long before we heard about it. So we have about 73 clinical studies with 740 subjects. Actually, it's more if we were looking at, before we started. And I have published 4 books. I had a couple of novels before that. But 4 books on science, and I'm writing the 5th book right now. The books have been translated into 12 different languages. So it started with Jerry Pollock, the co-inventor of the first pacemaker, and he was in the first group in London University that created the first pacemaker. It was like a huge pacemaker that you know about it, yeah. So yeah, that was the first pacemaker. Now it's so tiny. And we also looked at resonance, and resonance was invented in the 50s by Foster. And we are using in our technology the resonance, but quantum, from quantum mechanics resonance, quantum signaling resonance energy transfer. Foster developed the resonance energy transfer. You see, it's very huge microscopes, and basically what you see is, let me go back on this and see if I can get it away. You can see the communication of the cells through resonance. The cells communicate through synapses usually, but here you see that they're communicating through distances through the resonance process. And you can see how the resonance can synchronize the entire body. And what's aging? Aging is when your body is falling apart, when the synchronization of the body has been dismantled. And when your body is, you see somebody who's disorganized in the way they walk, they're awkward. There's somebody that walks like one whole thing, and they have that elegance about them. That is resonance. That is synchronization. So again, it's very huge microscopes, and we have spent a lot of time with equipment, of course. And what you see, again, let me go here. I have to kind of see if okay. There you go. So now what you see here, you see the dendrites, how they're increasing. So they say, how come I have this effect on my face so fast? Why? It's right there. You can see it under the microscope. What's happening on your neurons and how they kind of reconnect. So this is what resonance is. It's basically travels throughout the body. It reconnects everything. It unblocks toxicity and inflammation. What is aging? It's toxicity and inflammation. Those two, when those two start going down, you start feeling like sunlight is inside your body, like freshness is inside your body. That is very important. So you look and you feel younger. And that is the virtual gym infinity, which is inside, you can actually see. What we have created is synchronization. That is the most important thing. The body working in synergy. And what the technology that we have used, I have to get it, I don't want to get into all this quantum technology, but basically it works with the brain. So it's not the technology that does the change, it's your brain that takes over and does the change. And that is the trick, because your brain knows better than anyone what to do to your own body. So what I would like to the message that I would like to give you today is that everything in the body is a field. It's an interacting field. The nervous system is a field. If you look at any picture of the nervous system, you're going to see it's a field, right? The lymphatic system is a field. You can see all the connections. And those two fields, of course, interact with each other. And then you have the favorite field, Dr. Edwin's favorite field, the fascia field, which is also another interactive field. And that also interacts with the nervous system and the lymphatic system. So our research looked at the body as a whole, as basically a intertwined energies that create fields inside the body. And we looked at resonance, and the important thing about resonance is you see anything that cells, stem cells, exosomes, anything, they need that cable. So they're like the cable car, but they need that cable to drive the cable car to get to this destination. And that's the resonance. This is what the technology we have created. Or it's like, actually, Harry said that, and I included into my PowerPoint. He said that it's like, it curves like a highway system inside the body. If you don't have streets, right? I'm sure there are areas in Malaysia that there are no streets. And what happens? There's no communication, right? You have these streets in Kuala Lumpur, and everything communicates, everything is happening, everything is alive again. So it's the importance of interconnectivity, and this is what this technology is about, that no other technology can offer to you. This is the only technology that will give you this interconnectivity. And it's in the interconnectivity that will build your health. That's the most important thing. And let's talk about menopause. I can see a few candidates here of menopause. I'm sure you have felt these kind of flushes, or hot flushes, cold flushes. You feel cold, you feel hot. And then you have the andropause, which is like menopause but for men. And men go out, buy another big car because they don't know what to do with themselves. They feel very insecure all of a sudden. And the high inflammation creates, for women, this emotional apathy that we don't know what to do with ourselves. So what is that? It's inflammation that starts building up in the body. And we have the estrogen deficiency that, everything is fine in our lives, but something is missing. We don't know what's wrong, kind of thing. And what's wrong is that the hormones have started losing their balance. And low testosterone, that's both for men that they lose kind of their sexuality and their vigor and their confidence. And for women, they start feeling more bored, they start feeling more dissatisfied, and they don't even know why. And then you have the stress that the men lose their hair and they start feeling really stressed out about that, and that is sort of high cortisol. And the problem is they go to the gym, but the problem with going to the gym is that cortisol and testosterone have like a seesaw, okay? When testosterone goes up, cortisol goes down, and that's in the virtual gym machine. But when you go to the gym, because you put too much stress, your cortisol goes up, and then the testosterone goes down. So instead of, getting what you wanted to get, you go home and you still feel kind of the same, like you have not really done anything. And you worked so hard in the gym and still nothing has happened. And you have the midlife crisis, and then get divorced, they get another girlfriend, and they get another big car, they spend their money for no reason, and it's just that insecurity and this hormonal imbalance that happens in their lives. And menopause is also associated with gut inflammation. So you have digestive problems, you cannot eat this, you eat that, and you feel kind of your stomach is burning, and all that is because of these bad bacteria that are driven inside your system as a result of this menopause and andropause time when we get, so if the bacteria can be good bacteria, and they can be bad bacteria, okay? So not all bacteria are bad. And the signs of gut inflammation and hormonal balance are exactly the same. So you're going to see the cramps, you have a lot of gas, you have inflammation, chronic fatigue, skin rashes, psoriasis, acne, anxiety, inability, lack of confidence, all that, gut inflammation, and you have like what we call the gut brain. You know how we say butterflies in my stomach, I feel it in my gut? The gut is communicated with your brain. So there is a two-way axis between the brain and your gut. And serotonin, which is the main reason of all mental illness, is produced in the gut. So it's very interesting that all of those things tie up together. And we have a program now in the virtual gym on gut inflammation that can basically take care of this issue. So you're not going to be able to do it in any other way. I keep saying to people, and I know I don't want to sound arrogant, but it's the truth. You only have, after 50, you only have one choice, really. If you go to the gym, you're going to break your back, okay? And you're going to expend so much energy. So the only choice is us. That's it. You don't have that many choices after that age. And again, that gut-brain inflammation and kind of communication creates, like we have the butterflies in our stomach, or I feel it in my gut. So your gut, the gut inflammation is extremely important. Okay, you have the tiniest digestive problem. People will come with digestive problems, and after a while, digestive problems is gone. And that's a very, very impressive kind of result for them. And most importantly, what else is involved in this gut and brain interaction? The immune system. And the immune system is everything. If your immune system is defective, everything is going to go down. Everything is going to be wrong. What you see here is that you can say, well, my hormones, I went and test my hormones and they're in the average range. Ha, ha, ha. It's not enough. The hormones have to be optimized. And you see the numbers are even different. Okay? There are different numbers of the normal range and the optimization. They have to be optimized. Why? Because that's what's going to give you the energy. That's what's going to give you the mood, the better mood that is going to make you more successful in your life and in your relationships. That mood is everything. How you feel. and also the overall health. And it's going to make you feel more powerful and more confident because of this hormonal optimization. And what can do that? I don't know of any other technology that can do that other than the virtual gym and the AEs. That's it. And again, you don't have that many choices. And you see, we can have sadness with anxiety that feels like our heart is burning, and you can have sadness that is actually beautiful. And it's actually something that you can communicate, and you can even supplement. You can write a poem, or you can play music, or you can enjoy music better, even through this sadness. And we always, what all the doctors give the prescription, exercise and diet, right? You have to exercise, you have to diet. Okay, yes, okay, exercise and diet. But you reach an age of 45, okay, and you go to the gym and you work out, you do your due diligence, and you work out, and nothing happens. Why? Why is it that? Because fat is a systemic problem. When we talk about a systemic problem, we're talking about interaction. And when we're talking about interaction, we're talking about resonance. Okay? So that's why I keep saying, you don't have that many choices. Even though you think you do. What is visceral fat? Visceral fat is death, is slow death. How many people do you know that are over 80 years old and they're obese? Do you know anybody who's 80 and obese? I don't. You know why? Because they don't eat. You understand? Visceral fat is death. And it's not the gym. It's the hormones that make the difference. Why? Because if you have an IGF deficiency, you can go to the gym all day, every day, nothing happens because you have that deficiency. So it's not jumping up and down, it's not lifting weight, it's the hormones. And it's the optimized hormones. That's very different. So you can have too little insulin and you gain weight. You have too much insulin, again you gain weight. Why? Because it's the optimization of hormones. And the same thing with leptin. That's the appetite hormone. You have too little, you're hungry. You have too much, again you're hungry. You have hyperleptinemia, we call it. You're hungry again because the leptin has lost its signal. So you need to understand interaction and signaling is all that matters. It's not just having more, it's what you're having there interacting. And that's why we are, and that's the book that I wrote, The Rhythm of Youth, that's the last book. And you see, somebody that's awkward does not have that rhythm, right? And then you have that person that has that rhythm. It's through the movement, through the elegance. And that's the book, The Rhythm of Youth, that I just talked about. Now, this is just some of our results. If you lose 9 cm, we were searching it, right? And it was like, what, 42,000 calories? That's amazing. I mean, then you go and eat, but don't go and eat immediately after the treatment. But I mean, you know, get your body back. But this is something you understand how it's just, where did the fat go? Where did the fat go? It got burned. The blood will burn a piece of paper. It's gone. It's gone because it's utilized. Now you can have more energy. Now your vital organs are going to work better. So all that is very important. This is 3 treatments. Just 1 treatment, and you can see already the muscle tone has come out. And this is after 12 treatments. It's a younger person. But my God, it's, you know, you can see that she's a younger person. So if her older, you're not going to get it that fast, this result. but you can get excellent results. But you can get a body. I mean, I'm a user, so I'm talking out of experience as well. Detoxification, again. What is it that ages you? Toxicity. You want all that out of your body. If it's inside the body, it will kill you. And this is some of the studies that we have done, and actually we have even better results right now with the newer technology. But this is about inflammation. Remember what I said? What I say, we have inflammation. Inflammation. Metabolic boost. Results are not going to rebound. Why? Because your metabolism is going to increase. Once your metabolism is increased, your body is going to function better. Because metabolism is also works on all the other hormones, it's interacting. And this is how it has increased, and it increases energy. Initially, you might feel more tired. Eventually, you're going to see your energy booming. And I promise you that. That's something you're going to see again and again. Now, what is extremely important? It's the BMI, the basal metabolic rate. So I'm 72. In my age, I would normally utilize 1 calorie. Say, I'm just giving you an example. So a young person like Rachel, for example, is going to burn 100 calories while she's sleeping. I'm going to burn 1 because I'm 72, right? Now, if my metabolism increases and if my basal metabolic rate it has increased 91%, that means instead of 1 calorie, now I'm burning 92 calories. Well, that's as much as Rachel. And she's like less than half my age. Okay, so that is significant. And how does it do it? You see, in the gym, you go in the gym. Unfortunately, in the gym, you run out of energy, and you get the lactic acid only burns 2 molecules of ATP, whereas oxygen of glucose, it creates 2 molecules of ATP, and so glucose, when it burns with oxygen, it creates 38 molecules of ATP. So if you look at these numbers, of course, the virtual gym is going to give you a lot more energy than the gym, just because all these tools are in there, right? If you add all these tools, it's just mathematics. It's just actually arithmetic. Okay, so it's going to be far more energy that you're going to have with the virtual gym. And what else? Your hunger is going to be suppressed. You're not going to have to drop whatever you're doing, just go and have something to eat. Or you're going to feel weak during the day. No, you're going to feel strong. And you're not going to have to be hungry because all that is going to be. Now, this is something very important. We found that it separates the red blood cells. So from being this is the blood of somebody who dies at 50 years old, and this is the blood of somebody that dies at 100 years old. Okay? The blood flow is extremely important. And of course, it acts as a Viagra, so it will increase your sexuality and your libido. That's for sure. It will increase your libido. Testosterone and blood flow will increase your and the cortisol is going to reduce the stress. So the stress-free zone is a very important part. Now, cholesterol. Dr. Edwin was talking about cholesterol being the most pronounced thing in Malaysia, high cholesterol. It will reduce your cholesterol. And what is the importance of that? Heart disease, diabetes, all of those things are coming out of the cholesterol. Strokes, okay? And you might say, okay, I'm doing fine. Oh, good. All of a sudden you're not. So you have to be proactive. It's very important. This is a study we did with stem cells. So what this technology does, as the fat comes out of the adipose tissue, it also brings out stem cells because there is a lot of stem cells. Like 1 in 100 cells is a stem cell in the adipose tissue versus 1 in 100,000 bone marrow. So this allows stem cells in deposit tissue, and those stem cells are directed from your brain to go and repair your liver. We have an 80% repair of the liver. Healthy liver. And this is the papers are written with other people. So it's gonna healthy liver. It will repair your liver. Also the kidneys. We have more studies now on kidneys. That's once the liver is the most important organ of longevity. And it will stop diabetes. And this is the study. We've done a lot of studies on diabetes. We have amazing results on diabetes. Amazing results on diabetes. And that is, people suffer with diabetes. Amazing for actually we built this technology for the NFL. And this is one of the players that here at the NFL that we can give testimonial because he had a very nasty injury on his foot, could not play, and we actually repaired his foot. Not only he played for the San Diego Chargers, I met him personally, I treated him personally, then he went and played for the New York Giants. So it's like a lazy workout basically. So you are having the time of your life, the cocktail, and everybody else is working out and sweating kind of thing, okay? So it's something that pleasant and it gives you result. A lot of gain and no pain. No pain, a lot of gain. And let's talk about the Ilios now. That's another technology that's extremely important. Why? Because it's for hair growth and it's for, and again, until even today, everybody else is looking at aging as a glass that of evaporating liquid. It came out, so I have to replenish it. I have to put more in there. But that's not the point. The point is interaction, and we're brainwashed. That's my third book that I wrote, Brainwashed. We're brainwashed from people that are telling us, oh, we need more of this and more of that and more medication and more of that. I mean, people, I used to walk in hospitals, people would come with 9 medications, and I was like, just take everything out and let's start from the beginning. The problem is interaction. It's not, like in collagen. It's whether the collagen will interact. Just eating the collagen, how is it going to interact is the question. Okay? And it's many collagens, it's not just one. So the problem is not how much collagen you have in the system, but whether the collagen you have in the system is interacting or not. Because if it's not interacting, nothing happens. And there's no mechanism to figure out how much collagen, whatever you are injecting, whether that's going to kind of do anything. So it's not the amount, but the interconnectivity. Do you see that matrix? Everything in the body is with a matrix. It's like a field of different energies, interconnected. And again, you see the field of energies and how they're interconnecting through this resonance. I showed that before, and I'm showing it again, because it's a very, very important slide. And it's about 200 million proteins in the human body. Collagen is not one. Elastin is 2. So it's 2 out of 200 million. And this is what resonance does. That's basically, you can see resonance under the microscope through this ARET technology that you can basically identify the cells. And what you see here, how it communicates, you're going to see it coming up. It communicates. You see the cells under the microscope actually communicating. So again, that's what I said, this is resonance, how it interconnects everything. This is what the most important thing is, how the proteins interconnect and the proteostasis in the proteins, the communication and how the proteins get refolded. That is extremely important. That's what Ilios does. It refolds proteins to make them functional again, because a protein that is unfolded is not functional. So we're nurturing proteins